NBA rookie extension deadline has came and passed. So, certain about 11 guys got their deals, and the others not so much. And this is something I want to hear your thoughts. So, before we start today's video, Cam Johnson, PJ Washington, Grant Williams, Matisse Thybulle, and Rui Hachimura are the guys that we'll be primarily talking about when we are talking about guys who did not get themselves a rookie extension. This is for the rookies from the 2019 NBA draft class. As you guys know, most of those guys got their extensions, like the Zions, the Ja Morants, the RJ Barrett, Darius Garland, even, DeAndre Hunter got his. And there's other guys that we could talk about who didn't get extensions. Jared Culver, he was waived. Okay, Kobe White, Jackson Hayes, Cam Reddish, Romeo Langford, Siak Demboya. That's crazy that Demboya was the 15th pick. Okay, Chumu Ukeke, who actually he didn't start his contract till a year later, so Chuma doesn't count. Nikhil Alexander Walker, Goga, Lucas Shamincha, and Darius Bazley is another one. We could actually talk about him. Ty Jerome, Dylan Windler, Maifondu Kabengele, and I think that's all from the first round. The rest, everyone else got their contracts, from Kevin Porter to Keldon Johnson to Jordan Poole to Nazir Little. Now let's get right into it, and let's talk about the reason why guys like Darius Bazley, Grant Williams, Brandon Clark did get his. Darius Bazley, Grant Williams, Matisse Thybulle are just three names to name. Then you add in PJ Washington and Cam Johnson and Rui Hachimura. Those six guys, why they didn't get them. And yeah, so I think it's definitely something to look at, because Cam Johnson, PJ Washington, Grant Williams, Darius Bazley, and my man Rui Hachimura were unable to reach a deal. And Johnson has emerged as the Phoenix Suns starting power forward this season, and he's a guy who looks like he could be a mid-teen scorer, while PJ Washington has averaged his past season looking like a two-way guy, 10.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, while averaging a block and steal a game, while being a league average shooter for the Hornets. He's probably betting on himself. While Grant Williams, I think Grant Williams is another version of PJ Tucker, Jay Crowder, Royce O'Neal, Jay Sean Tate, and they probably offered him money like that, and he was like, nah, boy, I'm more than that, okay? And he's probably betting on himself with Robert Williams out. And yeah, I think that's just something like would work out well. And I think when you look at this, let's look at each player. So Cam Johnson, the thing with Cam Johnson is we need to see what is his ceiling, because right now we know what his floor is, and it's just a guy who comes in and launches threes. So will he be able to make a defensive impact? That's the big if. Okay, PJ Washington. Out of all of them, PJ Washington and Darius Bazley are very similar. They're these 6'8", 6'9" guys who can average at least 10 points a night, shooting from all over the floor, either dunks, layups, three-pointers, but they're not really shot creators. They need a guy to create shots for them. They can score in transition, and at the very least, they're decent two-way power forwards, small ball fives, and Bazley and PJ Washington. Their problem is that they haven't fully flourished on defense. They're not an elite rim protector, but they're not an elite perimeter defender. They're kind of tweeners. So I think they just need to really figure out who they are, okay, before they can continue going with any of this actually working out. And I definitely think this is just something that, you got to be looking at due to the fact that, hey, this is a team that we know what they're capable of, okay? Like in Darius Bazley and PJ Washington, both of them. Okay, they're guys who can come out, grab you 10 points, 7 rebounds, 7 or 6 rebounds a night, sometimes 5, few assists. Like they're all around Darius Bazley and PJ Washington. They're these guys who are all around skill sets that, a few years ago in the mid 2000s, they'd probably be small forwards or even power forwards, but now they're power forward centers. And it's just figuring out where their game is at. So I think that's just a big one. And then Rui Hachimura, he just doesn't have any defense. And he's a guy, he's kind of a Jeff Green, okay? So that does kind of put a lot of things in a weird predicament. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think of this whole situation? I don't know if you guys are with me on this or you guys don't find it as strange, but I do. And I think it's going to be interesting as all hell, okay? Let me hear your thoughts down below.